man. This sucks. This really sucks. Jacob deGrom is signed with the Texas Rangers. Jacob deGrom is no longer going to be part of the New York Mets. And as a Mets fan, this one stinks. This one really hurts. I really wanted to see Jacob deGrom have his entire career with the New York Mets, but obviously that's not the case. He just signed a 5-year, $185 million contract with the Texas Rangers. Obviously, it's really hard for me to not react to this as a Mets fan, but real quickly, in case I kind of glance over it, Texas Rangers, this is a fantastic move. You guys are going out and spending money, trying to win right now with a roster that is looking better and better and better as the days go on. Jacob deGrom has signed with the Texas Rangers, and that is a fantastic move for them. Of course, there's risk, and I'm not going to try and harp on the risk too much because I don't want to sound like I'm having copium or being a salty Mets fan, even though I'm definitely a little salty. I really wanted deGrom back. I mean, he's the best pitcher that I've seen in my lifetime. He was unbelievable with the Mets. A lot of great memories. I wish we actually got to win something with him, though. That would have been really cool and special, but instead, Jacob deGrom just leaves as one of the best pitchers that this franchise has ever had. One of the best pitchers that a lot of Mets fans have ever seen. Yeah, it stinks. It definitely stinks, and oh, I don't feel great about it. It feels weird. One thing that makes me feel okay is that at least it's the Texas Rangers. I'll root for Jacob deGrom just as hard as the next guy when he's on the Texas Rangers because he's not really going to hurt the Mets too much. Like, in all honesty, he probably plays us once, maybe a year if we're incredibly, I don't want to say unlucky because of the whole division thing. Now you play everybody, like maybe once a year we see him, but this should not be a direct impact and making someone that's one of our competitors stronger at least. But yeah, I really would have liked to see Jacob deGrom back. I think the money wasn't necessarily the issue. You got to think it's the years because 5 years for Jacob deGrom is a decent amount of time to be paying a guy what comes out to like $36 million for that 185 over 5. I'd pay it, but again, it's not my money. I would have loved to have seen the Mets pay him, but I don't know. It's so weird. It's so bizarre. I wanted him. I really did. I really wanted Jacob deGrom. Even though he wasn't my number one guy that I thought the Mets had to bring back because there are other pitchers like Carlos Rodon and Justin Verlander and other guys available, Jacob deGrom is clearly the best one that was on the market. He's clearly the best pitcher in baseball when he's healthy. And again, it is important to distinguish when he is healthy because relatively so, the last few years, he hasn't been for the Mets. But yeah, it's copium. I wanted him back. I'm upset he's not back. I wish the Mets spent the money. I just really hope that that doesn't mean more things to come for the Mets. I really hope that means that money that was going to be used on Jacob deGrom is going to be spent elsewhere, like bringing back Brandon Nimmo, bringing in Carlos Rodon, bringing in some more pieces. But again, this is not a video about the Mets. Like, as much as I'm sure you guys want to see me scream and yell and all that kind of stuff, like, that's just not going to happen. But I'm not going to pretend like I'm not upset that he's no longer a Met because I really wanted him. He was so good. And now for the Rangers fans and all of you that are celebrating out in Texas, you should be ecstatic for multiple of reasons. One, you just got the best pitcher in baseball on your team in a rotation that desperately needed an ace, that desperately needed some pitching help, and you couldn't have signed anybody better than Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom is 34 years old. This is most likely going to be the last contract that Jacob deGrom, I feel like, ever signs because by the time that this one's over, he will be in his 40-year-old offseason, so seemingly he will retire with the Rangers unless something crazy happens. I mean, he's the best pitcher on the planet. He might pitch until he's 45 like Tom Brady does with quarterback, and he's so good. He's so good, and you have him locked up for the next 5. As long as he's healthy, this contract's going to be so worth it. It kind of stinks that the last few years of Jacob deGrom's career, we didn't really get to see him pitch more than 100 innings. Since 2019, he hasn't gone more than 92 innings in a season. Of course, the COVID season that was shortened, like that sucks as a Mets fan. We missed an entire year of deGrom there. 2021, he ended up getting the injury, and then he missed beginning of 2022 because of said injury. But when he's on the mound, this guy does special stuff. He throws faster than any starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. He gets more strikeouts than the starting pitchers in Major League Baseball. He doesn't give up any hits. He is the best pitcher on the planet when he's on the mound and healthy. And I feel like at 5 for 185, this could be a steal. Like this could be a steal. You could look back and be like, wow, remember when the Mets did not give Jacob deGrom 5 for 185? What were they thinking? That 100% could be the case. It all depends on his health. If Jacob deGrom is healthy, this contract is going to be amazing. If Jacob deGrom gets hurt and is unhealthy, then you start to get a little concerned. But I'm rooting for the guy. I want to see the best Jacob deGrom possible. I'm a huge Mets fan. I'm a Jacob deGrom fan. I'm a fan of baseball. As long as Jacob deGrom, when he plays the Mets, pitches like crap, I want to see him pitch as well and as healthy as he can for the rest of his career. He gave me so many great moments, so many great things to remember. I can't be mad at the guy. He went and got his bag, and if the Mets weren't going to go give him more years or more money, I don't blame him. And again, if I had to guess, I wish I actually knew, but I have no clue. It's got to be because of the years and the money combined. I don't know. It's just, you gave Scherzer all that money. I guess it was more of an insurance for this thing. If this happened, DeGrom got paid. Congratulations to the DeGrom family. You became even more rich than you already were. And the Rangers are looking like a good team. Their World Series odds were like plus 6,000, I think, on DraftKings earlier tonight. I got to assume they're going up. And you've got Jacob deGrom with John Gray, along with Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia. Nathaniel Lowe is really, really good. The Rangers are building a really strong team here. I want to pull up the rest of this roster before I start talking too much. Yeah, you got Jonah Heim, who's a really good defensive catcher. I'm sure Jacob deGrom's going to love pitching to him. Josh Young at third base is going to be a stud. Love Josh Young so much. They have an amazing, amazing farm system coming. A guy like Jack Light. This is so weird. Kumar Rocker is going to pitch with Jacob deGrom, and it's not going to be for the Mets. It's going to be with the Rangers at some point. That feels weird. John Gray, Martin Perez, Dane Dunning. Like, this is coming together to be a very, very competitive team. 100% signing Jacob deGrom makes them a wild card contender at the absolute worst. Along with Bruce Bochy now being at the helm, you have the manager experience. Like, if you are a Rangers fan, you have to be absolutely pumped. They have put, what? They put about $500 million into the team last year. They put another 200 so far, basically, with Jacob deGrom. In the last calendar year, you've essentially seen your organization go from bottom of the barrel to spending almost $1 billion on 3 players, essentially, between Semien, Seager, I guess like 4 players. This is a really good move. This is a really good move, and I got a feeling the Rangers are not done yet. Now, I'm not going to pretend like they're going to go out and sign a Carlos Rodon or a Justin Verlander or maybe another one of the major top free agents. But there are a lot of good free agents that they can go out and sign right now to fill out this roster and make this team a lot better. Like, they need another corner outfielder. They probably need a DH as well. They definitely need some bullpen help. They could use more starting pitching arms. Like, there are a lot of players that they could go out and target to make this team really, really good in what is probably going to be one of the better divisions in the AL West, with the Rangers and the Astros and the Mariners, and maybe if the Angels spend some money, they could be in the conversations. Sorry, A's fans, you guys still stink, but the Rangers are going to be really good. Jacob deGrom, no! Oh, man, this sucks. This sucks as a Mets fan. This sucks. I was hoping that the Mets would bring him back. I was. I know I really wanted Brandon Nimmo as my number 1 guy, and I stand by that, but it wasn't because I didn't want Jacob deGrom. It's just I felt he was a little bit more important to the construction of this team and how you find that production. But man, now that deGrom's gone, you don't know how good you got it until it's gone, and that's what I'm feeling right now with Jacob deGrom. It feels very, very weird, very peculiar. I've never seen Jacob deGrom or heard of him with another team, and now we're going to see him pitch for the Rangers. I'm never going to listen to Simple Man in Citi Field again with Jacob deGrom on the mound before the game starts. Oh man. I don't think I'm really telling you too much because a lot of it is just kind of understanding what's going on and processing what just happened, which sounds weird because it's a baseball team really at the end of the day, but you guys know I'm a huge Mets fan. I like when the Mets play better than when they play bad. I've seen a lot of really bad Mets teams. Jacob deGrom was a part of a few, but he was a part of a lot of the better years, and it's weird now that he's gone. I hope he keeps Simple Man as his walkout, though. I hope that's still his intro song. Texas Rangers fans, it's electric. You don't know what you're missing out. It's sick. I'll definitely be in Dallas going to a Rangers game at some point this year. I gotta see my guy on the Rangers pitch. It's the least I can do, and he's getting a standing ovation for me whenever he returns to Citi Field. That's a fact. Jacob deGrom, can't blame you. Not mad at you. I wish the Mets could have spent the money, but they didn't. But to be mad at Jacob deGrom, I don't even care if, there was a tweet by Mike Puma that says the Mets never got to a final offer with Jacob deGrom, and I don't necessarily know what that means. But if that means that deGrom took this one without even taking one from the Mets, I still don't care. I can't be mad at him. When you're talking about life-changing money like that, he can do whatever he wants. This sucks. Thanks for the memories, Jacob deGrom. Thank you, Jacob deGrom, for what you did with the Mets. But this is not how I hoped it would end. This sucks.